Hello guys, today we're out here in the Pioneer Valley High School orchard, and as we continue learning about pest control, I thought it'd be a great idea to show you guys some real life examples, especially right now with this iPhone 11 I have a good video quality that I can show you guys. All right, so we're just gonna walk around and then see what we can find out here. Something relatable to the current topic we're learning right now, whether it be pathogens, weeds, insects, whatever it may be. Okay, so let's check this out. So it's springtime, beautiful springtime, and then we have actually bloom meaning that the flowers on a fruit tree are blooming. If you don't know what that means, it's important because fruit actually come from the flower itself. They're produced in the flower. They get pollinated through bees and other insects during the season and start beginning to fertilize the flowers, which then become into fruit. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at these peaches right here. Okay, these peaches look a little droopy, I know, but we're just gonna go ahead and take a look at these trees right here and notice some things that can be related to our topic. Okay, so looking at this peach tree right here, we can see that there's like a bunch of little black circles right here, kind of looking like dead fruit. Well, that is the case. If we look right in here, these are known as fruit mummies. Okay, so these are fruit mummies, or you can call them overwintering fruit. And what they are fruit from the year before, from the last season, that just stayed on the tree and hanged on there and then like just died through time and the different weather conditions. Okay, we do not want this. The reason we do not want this is because look how ugly they look on the outside, but imagine how they look in the inside. Okay, basically looking at these on the inside, we can find a bunch of different pathogens and a bunch of different diseases. That's why if they stay on too long, we can start seeing those pathogens and diseases affecting other parts of the plant. I know you can't really tell, but this right here, this fruit mummy right here, kind of basically killed this little twig right here, not being able to grow fruit. Okay, so we can notice that these are not good. An example of type of control we can consider this is maybe cultural or even physical control, because cultural, if we keep these out of the orchard in any way, we can refrain the possibility of these bursting or being damaged or open in any certain case and releasing pathogens that can cause a disease on the tree or different parts of the tree. It can affect the fruit, and we do not want diseases on our fruit or on our production in our tree. Because why? Because farmers need money, and the way they make money to make more food is by selling the food they already have. So we have a small peach right here. They're still growing. We have a couple beautiful ones right here, so that's just a good example. Okay, so I'm here still in the orchard and I'm looking at some stuff right here. Okay, so there's one thing I noticed here next to the peach trees is actually a nectarine tree. Okay, very similar, only thing is a little bit of a different variety, but very similar structure and very similar tree. So I'm going to work on this nectarine tree right now. And if we zoom in here, it's a little hard to tell. Hopefully it focuses. These leaves look a little funny, right? These leaves look a little funny. I feel like they can look better. Maybe something like this. Okay, a leaf like that. But that's not the case. The reason being is that this is called a disease called leaf curl. And if we're specifically looking at this tree, it can be like a peach leaf curl or a nectarine leaf curl. Okay, some diseases are specific to different crops, some are not. Some just vary in different crops, and the diseases can affect different crops, and doesn't mean it can affect in the same way. But think about why this is important to consider. Okay, this peach leaf curl, what happens on the leaf? A productive, healthy leaf, what happens? Okay, take a couple seconds to think about it. All right, so it would be like photosynthesis, right? Just like any living plant, we need photosynthesis to make sugar and food for the water and continuously begin a cycle that would continuously grow a plant. So right here, we have this leaf right here with leaf curl. Do you think that's gonna be as productive in photosynthesis as maybe like this leaf here or so? No, right? Because it's not really healthy. It's not going to be as productive. Okay, and as we look at closer at these, some of these have like a red color. Okay, maybe they don't look like they're a leaf curl. that doesn't mean it can be a disease. It can actually be a nutrient deficiency, okay? So the purpose of these videos is to kind of just give you an insight and kind of tell you guys how pest management and agronomy and all, they work hand on hand. Okay, so it just all really depends. Okay, we can really diagnose and identify things through different types of experiences and stuff, and the more experience we gain, the more we can evaluate and actually come to a conclusion. Okay, right here is these leaves that are dead, but they're actually connected to that fruit mummy, the one I mentioned earlier. This could be a disease itself, or it can just be spreaded from that fruit mummy. Remember, that's basically a bank of bacteria and diseases just waiting to happen if it bursts, okay? So this can probably even be something called fire blight, another disease. So I just think it's important to show you guys how different plants and trees can be affected, all right? We're gonna continue on with this in the greenhouse, okay? We're just kind of giving you guys a real life perspective. I know we're on Zoom right now and we're learning through a screen, so I thought the best idea is try to bring you out here virtually and kind of give you guys an idea of what it's like to evaluate and diagnose and survey different things in pest management. Okay, so let's go ahead and head out to the greenhouse. All right, so now we're here in the greenhouse by the ag department. We're gonna see if there's anything we can find here that's related to diseases and pathogens and all that nasty stuff that we want to learn a little bit more about. So we can see that there's a couple of oak trees in here and so forth. I saw something back there, but I just want to give you guys a quick tour if you haven't been in here really quick. There's some stuff that we don't really know what's going on. We just need to use our experience and so forth to really understand what's going on. So if we look at that, we can see maybe this white stuff here. That's probably just salt from the water. You know, when salt dries up, it leaves like a little white residue, right? White crustiness on it, right? And then there's stuff like this, okay? There's not 100% to tell what it is until we actually diagnose it and refrain our ideas to really get the experience out from us and utilize that to it. We can probably even be a nutrition deficiency. You see these right here, right? Could that be a disease? Could that be a nutrition deficiency? We have to really take a look at it, okay? See how this leaf, it's hard to tell through the camera, but on here it's like less green than these. You can probably tell just the difference from the video. But yeah, let's go ahead and continue to look around. Remember, nutrition deficiency isn't necessarily pest management. It's probably more agronomy related. But as I mentioned, things work hand on hand in agriculture, more so in the production of plants and crops and so forth, okay? So let's go ahead and take a look right here. Let's go ahead and take a look right here and see what we can find, all right? Maybe we can put it in a petri dish, okay? Here's something I found. Let's see, let's go ahead and take a look. Here, look at this succulent here. Look at this white stuff right here, okay? What we're gonna do is, I'm thinking this is powdery mildew, okay? Mr. Guerra came in here and helped me out too. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna probably take this to the lab, this leaf, from the succulent to the lab and put it in a petri dish, and I'll explain a little bit more from there. Okay, so now we're back here in the lab, and I have the succulent with potential powdery mildew, as we can see. We zoom in a little bit and focus on that. Then I have two other things, right? Let it focus. We have a petri dish and a cotton swab, okay? So what this petri dish has in it is, if we open it, sorry, I'm trying to do this one-handed. There's this thing called culture media. We see like little stains on it. That's just because it was in the fridge. Once it warms up or just gets to room temperature, the little dust will go away. Just imagine like a water bottle that you took out of the fridge with that condensation on it. So this little gel in it, it's a culture media. And basically, it's like a suitable environment for bacteria and other pathogens to grow in, and they use it to identify it. Identify different pathogens, okay? So that's what we're gonna do for today. Imagine this is just basically like a beach house or like a home where pathogens are gonna reproduce. That's what's gonna happen in this case. And that's why we have this cotton swab right here. Sorry, let me zoom in. Okay, so what we're gonna do is that, sorry, just letting it focus. It's a little hard doing this one-handed. With this cotton swab, we're just gonna, you know, rub off this. I don't know if this is actually powdery mildew. We can check, but we'll double check. So once we have that, we're just gonna get a little bit more, not too much. I really don't know if this is powdery mildew. I think this is just something else, and I will explain that later. So we're just gonna go ahead with the cotton swab, and then we're just gonna, you know, rub it in there, all right? You notice this is it. Get a good rub in there, right? Take that off, and now we just cover this up, let this sit, and from there on, we just wait to see what grows. So we'll give it a couple days, and then we'll tune back in and see what comes out of it. All right, see you soon. So it's been a couple days after I first took off what I thought was powdery mildew off of that succulent. So it turns out that wasn't a disease. Now that I think about it, I think it was just a residue, an insect known as cottony cushions scale leaves. So it gives like little cotton pieces of cushion, so forth. So this one was not really that good of a specimen. But a while before, I just didn't record it. I actually took something from an oak tree, and it looked like powdery mildew. And remember when I mentioned that this culture is like a nice home where bacteria can live and grow and reproduce? This is what happened. This is what it looks like from that leaf I took, okay? So although we didn't get something from the succulent, it was cool to see that from that leaf I pulled out, this is what it was look like. So we can confirm that there was a pathogen on that leaf that I didn't show you guys because I didn't record it, but just a good example of what it would look like to confirm that there was a pathogen on that substance or that object, all right? Cool.